Hey y'all, how you doing today? Well, I know that on Sundays I usually do some type of divination for you guys for a look into the week ahead. But today I'm not really in the mood. I'm a little bit sad, and I'll tell you why, but there's a little bit of a story here. So, back in October or November of last year, I was here at home. It was probably a weekend. It was in the evening, early evening, so it was already kind of dark. And I was in the mood for a good murder mystery. I love watching those murder mysteries. And usually I like things like, just last night I watched Appointment with Death, based on, it's a Hercule Poirot mystery movie, and it was based on a book by Agatha Christie, and there are several of those. Hercule Poirot character appeared in Murder on the Orient Express. Now, they made a remake of that one from the 70s, I believe last year or the year before that, with Johnny Depp. And there was also Death on the Nile, and I know that they remade Death on the Nile, and I believe that's coming out either later this year or next year. But those are, the kind of murder mysteries I usually like, and I do read a lot of Agatha Christie. I do like the character of Hercule Poirot. Anyway, I sat down to eat, and I was looking for a good murder mystery to watch, and I was flipping through and searching, and I came across something called Agatha Raisin and the Quiche of Death. And I didn't even know I got this channel, but this channel is it's called Acorn TV, and it's either out of Canada or the UK, because they show a lot of British movies and TV shows. And so it's about a woman. She's in her early to mid 50s. Her name is Agatha Raisin. She grew up in the slums in the UK to abusive and alcoholic parents. She dropped out of school to work in a factory, and then she somehow worked her way up to a secretary, and then she started her own business and became very successful as a public relations expert. She became very successful and very wealthy. And so in her early 50s, she decides to take early retirement. She sells her business. She's very wealthy. And she decides to retire to the English Cotswolds. I think I'm saying that right, Cotswolds, while she's still relatively young. And she purchases a English cottage in the Cotswolds. It's like a city or a neighborhood that's supposed to be like very idyllic. They make a lot of talk about how it has a thatched roof, and so she moves to this little town, and she tries to become a part of the community, but she's seen as an outsider. They call them incomers in the book, and she's from she lived in the big city of London, and now she's living in this small town, and people kind of resent the incomers. And she tries to ingratiate herself with these people and become a part of the community, but she's kind of an abrasive personality with a short temper. I identify with her a lot. What she does is, there's a baking contest. And so in order to sort of try to become a part of the community, she goes to another town and buys a quiche. And she enters this quiche into the baking contest, but she presents it as something she made herself. Well, bing, bang, boom, she does not win, but someone else eats the quiche and they drop dead. Well, she then becomes the #1 suspect, and she's humiliated when she basically has to admit that she didn't bake the quiche, that she bought it somewhere else. And small towns, the word gets around, people start making fun of her because she is an incomer. She is the suspect. No one wants to believe that someone else did it. Everybody basically believes that she did it, and so she feels like no one's in her corner, no one's advocating for her. No one's going to help her. So she decides to solve the mystery herself, which is what she does. And that's all I'm going to tell you about that first episode. But anyway, when it's going off, I'm looking at the credits, and because there was like a really cute guy in that show, and I wanted to see who the actor was. Anyway, I'm looking at the credits, and it said, based on the book by M.C. Beaton. I said, oh, this is based on a book. Let's look it up. So I looked it up on Amazon, and apparently there were a lot of these books. It's a very successful series. As you can see in front of me, I have about 28 books in front of me. And this is the entire series. But what happened was, I looked it up on Amazon, and so I didn't want to buy any books right away. So what I do is, well, I'm making this video on my phone, so I can't show you. But I have the Note app on my phone, and what I like to do is when I find an author I like or a book I'm interested in reading, I'll put it in this note on my phone. And when I go to the thrift store, I'll look for that author or that title, and just to see if I can get a good deal. I don't mind buying used books or anything. So I went to the thrift store and I found maybe 3 or 4 of the books. I read them and I really liked them. And then I knew from looking it up on Amazon that there were 28 of these books. And so I wanted to read them in order because, she does introduce new characters here and there, and people sort of come and go. And people who are important in the beginning of the series may not be as important in the end of the series. But I wanted to sort of read it in the order that they were published. So I did find this website. I can't remember the name of it, but you can go into this website, put in the name of an author or a book series, and it'll generate a list of all the books in that series in the order they were published. So I printed that out, and I continued to look for them in the thrift store, but I was impatient because I wanted to read them, and again, I didn't want to read them out of order. So finally, I went on eBay, and I found someone selling the entire series, and I spent, I think, about $130 on the entire series. And they came to me like 5 or 6 at a time, and I just waited till I got all of them. And then I took my list and put them in order. And then the ones that I had already read, I just stuck them in my bookcase this way instead of this way, so I knew that I already read them. And so I just started reading them at a pace of about maybe 1 or 2 a week. And today, I finally read the last book in the series, which was M.C. Beaton's Beating About the Bush. I just finished this book about 5 hours ago. And the reason I'm sad is I didn't know it at the time. I think maybe around February of this year, I discovered that the author, M.C. Beaton, had passed away in December of 2019. So I found the first book in like October or November, and she died in December of 2019. And I read all these books, and now, like I said, I'm feeling a little sad because unless they find a ghostwriter, there won't be any more Agatha Raisin mystery books. And I just kind of feel like an entire universe collapsed in front of me, and I'll never know what happened to these people who were a part of my life in the last year, who they made me laugh, they made me feel sad. I'm trying to remember if I actually cried at any of these. And yes, there is the series on TV. I did try to do some Googling to see if, what is the future of these books, but the only thing I saw related to the TV show. And there will be a season 4 of the TV show. The thing is, with the UK TV shows, it's not like here in the States where there's like 20-something episodes to a season. With these, there's like maybe 4 or 5 episodes to a season, but each episode is around like 90 minutes long. And then another thing I found out when I went to go watch some of these after reading the books, because I didn't want to, a lot of the episodes are based on the book, and I didn't want to spoil the book by watching the show first. And what I found out was when I actually found Acorn TV, it was during a free preview, so I don't actually get that channel. I can purchase episodes if I want to watch them. I think they're like $3 an episode, but I just don't see myself doing that. Maybe I'll wait till there's another free preview of Acorn TV, or maybe I can see them online somewhere. But anyway, that's my story. One good thing about this is that my mother in South Carolina, I've told y'all I get my love of reading from my mother, and whereas she loves romance books, I like mysteries, and I like to read magical fiction like The Witches of Eastwick, Practical Magic, and whatnot. So I did buy her 3 of these books and sent them to her just to see if she liked them. And so after I make this video, I'm going to be packing up these books and mailing them to her in South Carolina tomorrow so that she can read these and enjoy them like I have. I do want to leave this video on a good note, and I should have grabbed it before I came in here, but I don't want to get up and go grab it. This past Thursday, again today's Sunday, this past Thursday, I was fucking around at work, and I went down the rabbit hole, and I somehow wound up on the website of Joanne Harris. And some of you know I did a video a while back on her Chocolat series. Those were 3 books. The first was Chocolat. They made a movie with Johnny Depp, probably 20 years ago. The second was The Lollipop Shoes. In foreign markets, that book was called The Girl with No Shadow. And the third book in the series was called Peaches for Father Francis. Well, I discovered, lo and behold, there is a 4th book in that series, and it was available for purchase. It was called The Strawberry Thief. So I immediately purchased that book on Amazon Prime, and it came late Saturday, and so I am excited about reading that book. It's another universe I can jump right into. I will start that book next weekend. But again, if you love mysteries like I do, I highly recommend the Agatha Raisin mystery books. You can find them probably in your local thrift store. You can find them online at Amazon, or if you're impatient like me, I'm sure you can go on eBay and buy the entire series all in one swoop. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you again real soon. Until next time, make good choices, do good things, be good people. Goodbye.